everyone, welcome back to my channel. So as you can see, I am somewhere different from where I usually am. I am outside of the park and not in my room. I tried to record the video in my room and it just was not working out, and I was gonna just try again tomorrow, and I just felt like the Spirit called me to come out here, and I feel a lot more refreshed and clear-minded out here. So yeah, here we go with this video. So in this video, we are going to talk about taking responsibility for your actions and how that can make you powerful. You know, when we are in a relationship and it goes sour, we tend to, focus on the other person. We tend to focus on, their transgressions and say, they need to work on this, they need to work on that. And, say that, we are not the problem, but they are the problem. And, I had a problem with this, with my formal friendship, just, focusing on the things that she needed to work on and the things that she, did to me and how she hurt me, and, God helped me to realize that, with this mindset, it is not helping me to grow properly and, just mature spiritually. So he helped me to realize that I need to focus more on myself and focus more on the role that I played, in the friendship, and how that would make me more powerful. I'm gonna go in the shade because this sun is, there we go. Okay, so God just helped me to realize that I need to start focusing more on myself. That doesn't mean that he is, downplaying how I feel or the role that she played. Like, I do believe that he understands, how I was hurt and, the things that transpired, but he's just telling me, Kayla, that's not going to help you. That is not going to benefit you. You know what I'm saying? You just have to, do your best to move on and just focus on, the things that you need to change. So, and one thing I just want to say is that when God is blotting out our transgressions and he is, telling us the things that we need to work on, is not because he's doing it, because he doesn't love us or that he thinks, we are this bad person or this evil person, but really he's doing it out of love. He disciplines the ones that he loves, and you have to always remind yourself that when God thinks of you, he sees his child. He sees someone that he loves. When he thinks of you, he thinks of peaceful things and good things. And, he, like I said, he sees his child as a parent will see their children, so that's something that I had to work on, because I just felt like, me, taking accountability for the role that I played and how the relationship became sour. I just felt like, she was winning and I was losing, and that she's right and I'm wrong, and I'm this bad person, she's this right person. And he's saying, no, that's not true. I just want you to focus on, you, and take accountability for your actions, so you don't, bring that into the new relationships that I am bringing into your life, the new opportunities that I'm bringing into your life. So, one thing that can really get in the way of us seeing that is pride. Pride, the definition of pride is, being proud of yourself and your skills, and being, having pleasure of just basically yourself. And, one person might think that, that's just me being, having self-esteem. And the difference between pride and humbleness is, humbleness, they don't put people who are humble, they do not put themselves on this high pedestal. That doesn't mean that they don't have self-esteem. That doesn't mean that they don't know their importance. They just don't put it on a high pedestal. They don't think more highly of themselves than someone else. That's what, they don't do that. But people with pride, they, think of themselves more highly than someone. They think of their opinions more highly than someone else. So that's the difference between pride and humbleness, and why God favors the humble. And it even says that in James chapter 4. Excuse me, I got my paper. But yeah, James chapter 4 verse 6, it speaks that he opposes the proud, and he shows grace and favor to the humble, and in a situation where a relationship goes sour, someone with pride, they will look at the situation as, oh, that's just how I felt. Like, when you tell, that person of how you felt, and, their transgressions are brought to them, that's, the kind of mindset, the kind of words that they use is, hey, that's just how I felt at the time, or, that's just what I thought, and okay, so be it, instead of putting themselves aside like a humble person would and say, hey, you know what? Okay, yeah, maybe I did hurt you. Maybe what I did was wrong. Let me change that, So that's the difference between pride and humbleness. And the Lord is really working with me through that, because sometimes I would have pride towards, the situation and, the friendship that went sour, but he is helping me to be humble and just, realize, hey, I might have hurt her. Yeah, I'm more focused on how she hurt me, but what if I did actually hurt her, And when you have that kind of mindset, God is able to use you. You're able to be more submissive, because when you have that pride, you are not submissive. You're not truly submissive like you think you are, and when you're not truly submissive to God, how can you, how can you really be used by him? And that's why he wants you to be humble, because he can mold you, he can form you, he can change you, plant seeds in you, break you and send you. He can do all of those things when you humble yourself before him and other people, so that's why it's so important to be humble and not prideful. Another thing that I want to say, just make sure, sometimes it can be hard swallowing that pill of accountability, because like I said, it makes us feel like, the other person won and I lost. But actually you won, because, the necessity for a changed life is taking that accountability and putting that pride behind you and putting that to a side. You know what I'm saying? And in 1 John 2:16, it says that the pride of life comes from the world and not of the Father. You know what I'm saying? And when you decide to take that walk, when you decide to pick up that cross and follow Christ and, walk away from the world, that's one of the things that we have to leave behind, is that pride, So when we do that, we change, our life changes, our being changes, and things around us. So it's actually a winning situation when you could take accountability for your actions, and like I said, when God changes you, you're able to apply what you have learned into those new relationships. God has truly blessed me with a new friendship, and I have learned to not do, some of the things that I did in my formal friendship with this new friendship. But see, if I would have never realized, some of the things that I have done and how I have probably hurt, my former friend, I feel like I would have done the same thing. I would have carried those same toxic traits, so that's why it's so important to take responsibility for your actions. Not to say that the other person is right, but for your own benefit and for your own growth, So, yeah, that's what this video is about. Also, I missed something else, is when you decide to be mature and take accountability, you know how to respond to people who, try to bring your old self back, who try to bring, who like, who like to talk about your old self to you, I guess you could say. I just was wording it wrong. But yeah, like people who like to discuss, what you did in the past and da 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 da, though, you know how to respond to those people. And since you have taken that accountability for your actions, they cannot use that against you. If anything, since you're not in the shackles of that shame and that guilt, you respond, your weapon is love. And, the main thing to do is just to pray for those people. You have to just pray. If they can't sit here and change their way of thinking, if they cannot, remove that hardened heart and replace it with a heart of flesh, or if they don't allow God to do that for them, the best thing to do is just pray for them. A response is not always needed to situations like that. The best thing to do is just pray for them. And that's what God has taught me, because, I tried to extend the olive branch to my former friend, and what I got back was pridefulness, and it almost made my heart harden, because I was like, oh, you still feel this way about me? Are you kidding me? Like, after you've done X, Y, and Z too. I didn't respond, but, that's how I felt, and God just told me, like, just because she feels that way about you, that does not mean that you go and do the same thing. That's not, you don't go and feel the same way, just, remember to take accountability for your actions and just move on and still pray for that person. So that's what God is teaching me. And that's something that I just want to, express here, on this video, that just learn to take accountability for your actions and just see how you win in the end. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like you against that other person, but it's really, the war is really in the spirit. It's not really in the flesh. It's really the devil that's trying to get to you. You know what I'm saying? But you become victorious and powerful over the devil, and he can't use anything against you. He can't use your past against you. He can't use your old temptations or transgressions against you anymore, because you took accountability of the things that you need to work on and you change. So that's something that God has revealed to me, and he is helping me through it. It's not an overnight process. Okay, it's something that takes time, but when you strive to do better, you actually end up doing better, and it becomes natural. It's not something that you just try to do, so this is light is better. But yeah, guys, just try your best to leave that pride behind you. You know what I'm saying? Let go of that pride so you can actually change, and no matter whether the other person changes or not, that does not dictate who you are and where you are going, and that's what the Lord has helped me to realize. How she may feel about me does not dictate where I am going and who I am, so I just want to express that to you guys. And I hope you guys learned something from this video, how, God has helped me. And man, I tell you, God is good. God is good. I just love how he gives you a chance to change. He never takes that chance away. Anybody can change, so I'm just so thankful, and he can change you too. No matter what you have done, he can change you. And I'm gonna make another video on that, on his forgiveness, and how he can change, how he can change you, but I pray that you guys have a wonderful evening, and I'll just pray that you guys, like I said, put that pride aside, take responsibility for your actions, and strive to do better. Okay? Bye.